6:32 p.m. Yes, we are being recorded. And to let everyone know, we're in compliance with Maryland regulations, and that's why we're doing that. So thanks, but welcome everybody on this snowy day. First, I'd like to... What was that? First, I'd like to introduce Kim Falk, who has joined the team at Canal Place. And Kim, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and the role you're going to play and with Dee Dee's staff.
Well, hi, everybody. It's nice to meet everybody virtually. I know some of you I don't. So yeah, so I'm thrilled to be here with Dee Dee. I have worked with Dee Dee for the past 4 years in a capacity where I was at the Garrett County Chamber of Commerce with the Heritage area there. So I'm very well versed in heritage. My background, of course, is marketing, advertising. I have 20 plus years in marketing. So Dee Dee wanted to bring me on board to kind of, I think, spearhead the marketing down here. So I'm definitely already kind of neck deep in that. And I'm also going to assist Nicole with some grants administration and, you know, whatever she needs in the finance area. So I live in Grantsville and born and raised. I'm also on the A&E district board up there, and I'm the president of the Spruce Forest board in Grantsville. And I have a lot of family down here. So looking forward to working with everybody.
You did an excellent job on the sesquicentennial.
Thank you, Al.
So I assume you know who Dee Dee is, so we don't have to introduce Dee Dee. I'm Janice Keene. I'm the chairman of the board of Canal Place. And you know Al, obviously, already. Stu, you want to introduce yourself to Kim?
Hi, Kim. Stu Zapsky, City of Cumberland Economic Development.
And the infamous Ray Morris.
I'm Ray Morris. I am the mayor of Cumberland, and infamous is a kind way of saying it.
Okay. Mr. Snyder?
Me? Adam Snyder with the Maryland Attorney General's office.
Okay, very good. Brad?
Hey there, Kim. Brad Nixon. I'm the general counsel up at FSU. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Becky?
Hi, Kim. We did meet down at Pace last year. I'm Becky Rupert. I'm the interim dean of continuing education at Allegheny College.
Okay, wonderful. And Joshua?
Hi, I'm Joshua Nolan from the C&O Canal National Historical Park. We are in the visitor center on the first floor of the train station, and we have the towpath.
Okay, very good. And I see, well, let's do Jeremy first. There's Jeremy.
Hi, Kim. Hey,
Hi.
Jeremy Bender. I'm just a Lilly local business owner and member of the board.
Yes. Okay, and Bill Atkinson.
Get off mute. Bill Atkinson, Allegheny County Commissioner.
Okay, great. And I see an iPhone 5, and I'm not sure.
Let's try that. That works.
Yeah, the iPhone 5 is Robert Denburn with Dig Deep for later on in the agenda.
Okay, and Canal Place Authority, it says. I don't see a photo.
That's Crystal.
Oh, that's Crystal. Oh, okay. All right. And then WCBC is with us today as well. So anyone else that I'm missing? Okay. All right. We do have a new member of the board, Michael Mudge, but I don't believe he is here with us yet. You said he was coming in a little later.
Just got on.
Just got on. Okay.
There he is.
Okay, Michael, if you would like to introduce yourself to our other board members and attendees today, that would be great. I'm Janice Keene, Chairman of the board, so we have not met yet, but if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, that would be great.
So my name is Michael Mudge, as you just said. I am a U.S. History 2 teacher out at the Career Center. That's actually what I just was doing, was passing my students off to a fellow teacher, where I teach U.S. History 2, Criminal Justice, and Business Communication, which is a business leadership class. I'm also involved in a couple local groups, the Fort Hill Band Parents Association, where I work as one of their volunteers, and then just other little groups that I do throughout the community. I've lived here my entire life, graduate of Fort Hill High School 10 years ago.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you. Well, welcome. We're going to start out with the minutes of the open meeting on September 26th, but I'd like to ask all of you, if you do make a motion or second a motion during the meeting today, when you do that, if you could state your name so that Crystal can make sure that she gets that accurate for the record, that would be very helpful, because on the recordings, it's not always clear. So if any of you can remember to do that, that would be wonderful. So if we could start with the review and approval of the minutes and financials again, if you could look at the open minutes from September 26th and let us know if you have any questions. Do I have a motion to accept the open minutes as submitted?
So moved, Ray Morris.
Thank you, Ray. Do I have a second?
Second, Al Feldstein.
Thank you. And so those minutes stand approved as submitted. If you could now look at the September 26th closed meeting minutes. And while you're doing that, by the way, I forgot to ask, all in favor of those accepting the open minutes, if you could say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, then they are accepted. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead with the closed minutes. Anyone have any questions on those? All right, do we have a motion to accept the closed meeting minutes as submitted?
So moved, Jeremy Bender.
Thank you, Jeremy. Do I have a second?
Second, Ray Morris.
Thank you, Ray. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, then the closed meeting minutes stand approved as submitted for September 26th. If you could now look at the financials that were presented in your packet. We have expenses and revenues for September and October of 2023. And Nicole, would you like to tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. As far as expenses for September, you'll see some blanks that were then duplicated. Sorry, I've got a net. In October, not duplicated, all done due to the timing of things for end of the year and reporting that was needed to be done in September. It all got pushed to October. So fear not, we still have phone service and everything else going on. Just got paid 2 times in October. And everything is fairly on target for what we've done. We have had to do a few repairs. Machinery, we always run through and get prepped for winter time, snow blowers, that type of thing. So we did have that. We did have a phone outage. Weirdly enough, that we had to have our phone person come in and take care of. We did make our first payment for the West Virginia Economic Study in October. Dee Dee will tell you more about that study a little bit later, but suffice it to say, we made our first payment. Everything else is pretty much in line as far as, you know, our normal fall getting things done. We did pay out a few grants in October as well. As far as the revenue side of things, we were looking good for all of our tenants. The majority are either paid up. Most of them are paid up and on time. There are some that have paid in September and October, but are not current. So we can talk about that later. We also did receive the first $50,000 for the fiscal year 24 management grant. So once Dee Dee closes it, we'll be getting the second half. That'll happen in fiscal year 25 generally, because it happens after the end of this fiscal year. We also happy to report, we did get our Fairfield Inn payment in September. So that was a nice chunk of change to the tune of $143,000 this year at 3.5%. So that's where we're at financially. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, yeah, I think we're good.
Any questions? All right, do I have a motion to approve the financials as reported?
Al Feldstein, so moved.
Do I have a second?
Becky Rupert, I'll second it.
All right, thank you very much. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, then the September and October financials stand approved as submitted. Dee Dee, your executive director's report.
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm fighting a little bit of a cold here, so I apologize for my voice. So again, I want to welcome Michael Mudge too. I did meet with him. He came in to get a big, huge packet of information all about Canal Place and the heritage area, which I know was super overwhelming. So we talked a little bit about the heritage area and the authority itself. He had some paperwork to fill out, and of course is subject to ethics too. So it's a lot coming on board. And I also want to acknowledge Bob Smith, who is no longer on our board. Michael replaced Bob. So, and as you all know, these are governor appointments. So Michael came as appointment from Governor Moore. So welcome. We held interviews for the position that Kim is now in. Again, want to welcome her. She seemed to have all the background we needed, a lot of background in marketing, social media, advertising, things that I just haven't had time to do as director because of everything else that goes on with the heritage area and the Canal Place property. So she's going to talk a little bit more about what she's been doing. It actually is going to save us a little bit of money because she'll be taking over our website, which we now pay a private contractor to do. So that's going to be a big help in trying to meet all the state requirements for state transparency, which Janet was mentioning about having to have our meetings public now and things kept online. So that's going to be a tremendous help to us. So welcome, Kim. I'm going to talk a lot about property updates, which is part of this report too, later on. As you all know, the Winter Festival is coming up this Saturday night from 5 to 9, and then 5 to 9 on the 9th. So I will be coming down to volunteer. I hope we have a nice crowd of people. The Christmas tree lighting seemed to be a success. I saw it online, and Mayor did a wonderful job of, as usual, of lighting the Christmas tree. So we're glad that we could partner with the DDC and the city and having the tree on our property this year. I would like people to take note of upcoming events. will be attending the Allegheny County Pre-Legislative Breakfast and Annual Meeting. We'll be at the PACE reception on January 18th. Have a Maryland Heritage Coalition meeting coming up December 14th. And we're going to be doing, the Maryland Heritage Area staff is actually coming up January 9th to City Place in Frostburg to do a grants orientation session for the new grant round coming up.
Great.
Any questions about any of that?
Okay, thank you, Dee Dee. Joshua, can you give us a National Park Service update?
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody. I have a few things here. First, I just wanted to let everyone know for the winter, we're hoping to maintain our regular hours, which is currently Wednesday through Sunday, 9 to 4. And that is at our three main visitor centers, the Cumberland Visitor Center, the Williamsport Visitor Center, and the Great Falls Visitor Center. So come stop by in Cumberland and see us, or come downstairs, or visit one of the other places in the park. This Saturday on December 2nd, we have an open house at our headquarters in Williamsport from 12 to 4. Where we're welcoming in the community to our administrative headquarters, and we're going to have a Ranger Santa and some hot chocolate and cookies, and folks are welcome to stop by anytime between 12 and 4 on Saturday. I wanted to let folks know that our Deputy Superintendent, John Noel, is retiring at the end of this year. His last day in the office will be the 21st of December. John has been with the C&O Canal for 23 years, so we wish him well in his retirement. And then the last thing that I have is that we are planning on resurfacing the last 12 miles of the towpath in late 2024. So that'll be from Spring Gap to the Cumberland Terminus. And so that's on the schedule right now for late 2024.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Joshua. Appreciate that. It's great that also that people are interested in being outside more and seeing all the wonderful things we have to offer them. Old business. Dee Dee, would you like to introduce the old business session?
Sure. First order of business, Rob Dettenburn from Dig Deep Eatery has requested time to talk to the board of directors. So I'm just going to turn everything over to him. Rob, you have about 10 minutes.
I'm not going to need that. I won't need that long, Dee Dee. So
Okay.
First off, appreciate everybody, appreciate the time, and thanks in advance for the consideration. Understand that we understand the situation we're in, and we played the significant role in that, but we really would like to continue to stay in Canal Place. We are open, and operating. Obviously, we would extend. We're waiting for this meeting to determine what we do next. In order to, quell everybody's concerns, we're willing to pay rent either 6 months or a year in advance to keep us in there, continue that relationship, continue to support, Canal Place and support Dig Deep. Really, that's where we're at, willing to do anything to stay in the space because of the significant investment, and really like the relationship that we've had and want to continue that. So really, that's all I have. Not even necessarily looking for an answer now. If you guys want us to drop, you guys can discuss it. But we thought that was a reasonable ask, and I think that if we pay rent at either 6 months at a clip or a year in advance, I think that would make everybody comfortable and show our seriousness with continuing our relationship with Canal Place. So I'll pause for any questions anybody has for us.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay. What we can do is have our board members have a chance to review the issue and we will get back to Dee Dee with as to how we would suggest proceeding. So.
Yep. And like I said, appreciate everybody's time, and we can drop that way. You guys can have an opportunity to talk about it. And if you have any questions, multiple people on this call have my phone number, can call me anytime and I'll answer anything that I need to.
All right. Thank you very much.
Appreciate everybody's time. Have a safe and hopefully warmer day. We're going to drop now.
Okay.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, Dee Dee, you want to go to the next item of old business?
That would be the River Park update. So just talked to Bobby Smith from the City of Cumberland this morning. CEC consultants are making progress on the 30% preliminary engineering report. They should have the report done this month, so we can then take it to PACE in January. Also, we have the project manager / engineer position open to be a contractual employee at Canal Place for the River Park. We've advertised that on Indeed. Kim has placed it out on social media. The state of Maryland is actually advertising for us, and at this time, I don't think we have any candidates. I think the closing date was extended a couple weeks for the state, through the state. So we're hoping that we get somebody good in that position. Also, West Virginia University, is doing that economic impact study, and Jin Dang has the head of the study and professor of Parks and Rec up in WVU. He's been down on significant weekends surveying the public about this project and just visitation to Cumberland and Allegheny County in general. So again, that report will be done in the end of December, and we'll be able to take the results of that survey down to PACE reception and have some meetings. I've requested meetings with the governor, lieutenant governor. I mean, go big or go home, right? And also the comptroller. So they have been in touch, and I'm just waiting to hear the dates. So that's all with the River Park.
Okay. Go ahead, Dee Dee. I interrupted.
The progress, the passages of the Western Potomac Heritage Area expansion. The update on that is we, continue to have monthly meetings, and I'm just going to touch. I really don't need to talk about the survey and new business. I can talk about it now. The consultants have put together a survey that is going to be sent to the board, and we're going to really reach out to as many people as we can. Heritage area related questions, board related questions. So please, once you get it, if you can pass it along to people, and please respond. It's very important to get feedback from everybody on this expansion. Again, we're trying to include the whole county, which, we'll be the first county to have the entire county as a heritage area. So that's a pretty big deal. And then Canal Place property updates. So there has been a lot going on in cooperation with the Department of General Services. We had paving done in the main parking lot coming in there on portion of Canal Street and Harrison Street. They've installed the car bumpers. They still need to install speed bumps, and then in the spring, they're going to be seal coating the Harrison Street lot and also the main lot at Canal Place inside the parking lot. Time ran out, and we just wanted to wait till warmer weather to get the sealing so it would stick and everything. Update on Park Mobile. We're ready to roll with that. We just need to get the signs installed. So we're going to be reaching out to everybody the DDC, everybody that is now parking in our parking lots. They've had free parking for a while now, so we are going to patrol that lot on our own, and we will put out warning, like a warning ticket first. And then the second time, if they come back, then we're just going to go to tow because we don't have any way to enforce it any other way. Because we're not really well, obviously not a police department or anything. So that's the only choices we have. We're going to follow the city of Cumberland's parking regulations, and people will be able to do what they do now, pay us to park monthly or yearly, whatever they choose. The fiber is being installed as we speak into the station, and then wiring is going to be put in all the station offices. So anybody that wants to tap into that will have to let us know, and they can share some of the costs that's going to cost us, like I think $500 or so a month. So anybody that wants to tap into that will be able to. The brickwork and tree trimming, I believe, has been completed. Am I correct, Nicole, with that? The brickwork?
Yes.
And also, yeah, and the HVAC, they're working on that and all the units of the shops. So e-bike chargers are installed, but we're not going to start using them till springtime, but they are installed and will be operational. Then the last thing that I think we need to bring up, and this came up at the very, very last minute. I got an email from Nikki Shields of the Western Maryland Scenic Railroad, and they are having issues with homeless, what they're calling homeless people. I don't know if they're homeless or it's just the usual crowd that hangs around the station. But anyway, it's the same thing that we're all dealing with. They're there, and it's hard to police and patrol them all the time. But the railroad wanted us to put up I guess, orange safety fencing and block off the Wells Creek Bridge. To I guess, I could think they think that that's going to stop people from coming onto the property. And I don't know if they're harassing the Polar Express people, but they just want it put up during Polar Express. So I will tell you this, putting up orange fence is not going to help, because they will tear it down. And I will tell you that putting up that fence, I mean, these people are coming mostly from the Maryland side, so they're going to get up on those bricks regardless. If they want to find a way up there, they will. And I had requested from Wes Hines back in the summer for him to please remove that I guess it's called rolling stock of train cars that line up in front of the station, because people were they've been in those trains. I've seen them jump in, jump out. They're all hidden now because the trains are sitting there, and Tim, our maintenance guy, can't get to the Wells Creek Bridge even to do anything on that bridge without walking all the way up past the station to circle back to get to that bridge. So I'm just giving you my opinion of how I don't think that's going to work. I mean, but you guys, make up your mind, just whatever you want to do, we will try to accommodate.
You have a recommendation?
Do I have a recommendation? My recommendation is to move or space those cars apart on the far side of the track, number one. And I mean, number two, we just, the police can only do so much. I mean, they've got situations all over town, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know how you stop them. I mean, I know that Ray, you've been looking at stuff within the city. I don't know what we do about it. I mean, obviously, we're not the only place that has this kind of problem.
Right.
Um,
And
so
you're
I don't
right,
know.
Dee Dee. And I'm as frustrated with it, excuse me, as you are. And I don't know exactly what where the people are coming from and what would work. I would think that right now I would, whatever your decision would be, I think the board would probably of Canal Place would be happy with, Dee Dee. I mean, you're the one most in tune with what's actually going on. But I would just maybe you and I and Wes just sit down and talk and see if they're if they're in some way we can mutually figure something out, and if not, we can't. That's okay too. But just to see what might work, what might not work, and because I certainly understand your point about the cars. And I was up the other day at the Polar Express, and there were people, and they were, going around playing around the cars and kind of making a general nuisance. But we'll get together offline and we can talk about it and see if there's something we can do. And if not, then there isn't. But because I understand your frustration about the people and how you keep them away.
I mean, we've tried everyone, and Mayor, I've reached out to Chuck Burnett. He's been wonderful. And anytime we've had issues and called, the police have been right over there. I mean, they are over there all the time. I just don't know what the answer is. I mean, we certainly can't chase them. I made the mistake of trying to speak to one of them one time, and I will never do that again.
I just say, Dee Dee, if we had the answer to all of those problems with people like that, we'd be way above where we are right now. I think that's an issue that's happening all across the country. But we'll see if we can't have just a discussion, maybe you, me, and Wes, and see if there isn't something we can come up with. And if there isn't, there isn't. The railroad will just deal with it.
All right.
Okay, do we have any other comments on that? But I think that sounds like a good suggestion. Brad?
I was just curious with the gentleman from the AG's office, maybe get back to us before we can figure out what, if anything, we can do. We have to figure out what we can't do. And I'm not up on my Maryland state property trespassing laws.
Okay, with respect to the homelessness issue.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. I'll look into that.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
And,
Appreciate that.
We have put up signage to say like no alcohol, no smoking, things like that. And when they're ticketed, they go up to court, and I mean, nothing happens. So it kind of becomes pointless to even do that anymore.
I have to agree with Ray. I mean, having an open conversation, work something out, because it's a combination of things, obviously. There's the legal issue of who's considered loitering and who's not and all that stuff. There's the access issue with that bridge. We know the bridge makes access easier. Doesn't mean they can't get to it, but the bridge is right there by where most of them hang. At least while the train's running, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I mean, maybe limit that. It's hard to say. But I agree. The one thing to do is a comprehensive issue is to get Ray and Dee Dee and the railroad people together to see what would work for everybody. I mean, but access may be something, at least during those special runs, that might help.
Okay, well, we appreciate hearing your comments, and Dee Dee, if you can work with Ray and Wes to set up a discussion. And if you want me to help with that, I'd be happy to do that as well. So just let me know. I think getting input back on from a legal perspective would be very helpful, because we have to know that first. Know what's possible and what's not possible before even talking about what all our alternatives might be. All right, under new business, you'd already talked, Dee Dee, about the survey. Did you want Kim to talk about marketing strategies, or were you going to talk about that, or what did you want to do?
No, I just wanted to let Kim let everybody know what she's been working on since she's been here, if that's okay. Kim, you can go ahead and tell them everything we've been dealing with.
Okay, so yeah, so since I've gotten here, the first thing I did was create 2 new social media pages. The pages were pretty dormant and had very few followers. So we updated those. They are growing quite quickly, so that's good. I know a lot of you have, I've seen that you've followed us and liked our new pages. So that's good. So we're trying to get those built out, you know, so we can use as a communication tool. We set up a constant contact so we can begin having a regular newsletter. And I sent out a very brief, I wouldn't call it a newsletter. There was a holiday greeting basically that went out last week. Hopefully everybody got that. So we're recruiting people to sign up for that again, so we can use that as a communication tool. We're gonna host a mini grant webinar on December 15th, and I've submitted a press release to the papers and media outlets. So hopefully next week you'll see that. And if you know any, nonprofits and local jurisdictions that, kind of put that bug in their ear that we're doing the mini grant webinar. I know Dee Dee has struggled to get people. I've always said this. I said it in Garrett County. It's the hardest thing in the world to give money away, it seems like, and it's the same everywhere. So, so we're going to try to, get that information out there and, help these nonprofits as much as we can through the Heritage Area Grants. We currently have 2 ads running on social media. One is the advertisement to recruit for the River Park engineer. And the second one is just a general informative sign up for our Facebook and Instagram. So we have had, in 2 weeks, we've reached over 5,600 people, and we have had over 220 new followers. So we're doing good with that. Our constant contact, that initial email that went out was, it had a 63.9% open rate, which is very good. The industry standard is 30%. So I know it's new and everybody probably clicked on it because they wanted to see what it was about. So hopefully we can keep their interest. So as board members, if you guys know of something that you think should be included in the newsletter, please email me so we can make sure we get everything in there that we want to get out there to the public. The website, we're not creating a new website. The current website is a really, really nice website. We're just going to tweak it and do some reorganizing. We're going to add a donation button so that people can donate to support the heritage area, support the River Park project, and try to build that out a little bit. You'll be able to sign up for the newsletter on the website and devote a page itself to the River Park to try and give that a little bit more love and awareness in the region about that, as well as just kind of define the heritage area and Canal Place a little bit better, so people can navigate through the 2 a little bit easier. Me coming in from outside, of course, I knew the heritage area very, very well, didn't know Canal Place as well. So for me, it was easy to look at the website and say, this is kind of hard to understand for me. So obviously it would probably been for anybody. So we're gonna do a little reorganizing of the website. And then, of course, whenever we get the countywide boundary, then we'll do a complete marketing relaunch of the heritage area and hopefully really build some excitement around that, and you know, get the word out that we're countywide, which is super exciting. Like Dee Dee said, we'll be the first ones to go countywide, and you know, there's been lots of discussions about that. I think it's a great thing to just include everybody. So I'm excited to be a part of that, and happy to answer any questions about anything if anybody has any.
Can you tell everybody what the names of the social media pages are?
Yes. So the Facebook is, and they were, if you got the newsletter, there were QR codes that you could scan those. But the Facebook is Passages of the Western Potomac Heritage Area at Canal Place. And the Instagram is harder. It is Canal Place, or it is Allegheny County Heritage Area at Canal Place. And they're different because certain things were taken, and you have to kind of take what you can get. So, but like I said, if you got the holiday email, there were 2 QR codes in there you could scan right from that newsletter to get to those 2 pages. So.
Kim, I'm sorry, what was the new Facebook page again? Passages at
Passages of the Western Potomac Heritage Area at Canal Place.
Well, Kim, thank you very much. That was very helpful.
Welcome. Yep.
We're glad to have you on board.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Do we have any public comment today?
Janice, can I say one thing I forgot to say? I'm sorry.
Sure.
I just now was thinking about it. So the Allegheny County Chamber of Commerce had reached out to me and to Al and asked for an emergency grant to help fix some structural issues with the chamber. And that grant was awarded to them. So I believe it was a $20,000 grant. So it was 10,000 and 10,000. So the Heritage Area did award that grant to them. And thanks to Al he took some great photographs, and we're happy that the chamber can get their situation fixed.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
One
Yeah.
little announcement. I don't know if Dee Dee's going to mention, but tonight they're having a Allegheny Museum, a session on the future of the Wills Mountain. I don't know if anybody wants to speak to that. I forgot the time, but Frostburg State University, can you speak to that, Dee Dee, or not?
I think it's at 7 o'clock tonight at the museum, and you're right, Al. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, Frostburg State University students are going to be hosting that. Anybody has any public comment or ideas about, input on what to do up on Wills Mountain? The state has really expanded the acreage up there now that they're going to have art more and there'll be climbing opportunities. So I think it would be great if anybody could get down there to go to that and provide input. I think it's going to be a huge asset to Allegheny County, just one more great thing that we're going to add to our county. So anybody can get there would be great.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Again, public comment. Anyone have any comments, any questions? All right. Well, if anyone doesn't have anything else that they've forgotten to add today, our next board meeting is hard to believe in 2024 on January 30th, Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. So that's the next board meeting, and Dee Dee and her staff will be in touch to let you know if that's gonna be an in-person meeting or a virtual meeting. So,
I have a question too. And Adam, this is maybe something I don't mean to put you on the spot, but the discussion about Dig Deep, can that be an executive session, or how is that gonna work? Because we're not gonna be together for another 2 months.
Well, if a quorum of the board is getting together to discuss Dig Deep, then it qualifies as a meeting that would be subject to the open meetings law. So you'd have to advertise, send out an agenda. You can open the meeting publicly and then immediately close to go into executive session on the basis that you've previously discussed this lease situation. But you'd have to do that if you're going to have a quorum of board members present. You've got that quorum now, so you could go into executive session now and discuss it. But if you wanted to think about it and then have that discussion later, if you want to have a quorum involved, it's going to have to be through a meeting that complies with the Open Meetings Act.
Well, I mean, the fact that, we sent a letter to Rob asking him to vacate the premise in, I believe, December. I think if we all could get together in executive session now to discuss it, that probably would be better. So we're not letting him hang, and, it puts us in a bind too, as far as what we're going to do with that space. I mean, if you don't mind, I'd rather go into executive session now and discuss it so we can give him an answer, if that's okay.
I'm available.
all right, does that suit everyone's schedule? Anyone that does not suit? All right, then.
I am gonna have to leave here in a minute, so,
Sorry, Jeremy.
I guess, is there still a quorum if I'm not there? Is that okay?
How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we got 6, right? Or did I just count myself? No, I think we have 6, so that's quorum. Did Becky? I guess Becky left. Yeah, she's gone.
We have 5.
Well, that's still a quorum, right?
Yeah, but okay. All right. Then to do that, we need to close the open session. So do I have a motion? And Al is the one who did that. And do we have a second to close open session?
Yep,
All
I'll
right.
second.
Michael is doing that. Okay, so all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Any opposed? All right, then we are.
Can I step in here first? Nicole, I think you need to identify what we're going to be discussing in the closed session and the basis for it, so that we adhere to that.
Sure.
Stick to that one topic when we're in closed session.
Yes, and we will be, let me pull it up. We will be discussing to consider a preliminary matter that concerns the proposal for a business or industrial organization to locate, expand, or remain in the state relating to the leases at Canal Place. That is statute number 4, article 3-305B number 4, actually. So
right, so we are now going into closed session, and I know you need time to stop recording on open and
yes,
go to closed.
so let me stop recording.